Your spirit do a double. Ooh, your spirit up above. Ooh, I was dropping the power, feeling my way. Okay, hey everyone. Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started. So I have Ariane with me tonight, Ariane, and so I am so excited because you guys, she is like the queen at all things algorithm, like everything. I don't know anything. I'm not that green to be interested in all that, but we know that we need algorithm in order for our business to thrive and people to see our posts, like all that good stuff. So we're going to dive in, and she's going to talk about everything that she knows. And if anyone has questions along the way, questions about like literally anything about algorithm, anything that she's talking about, put them in the chat and we'll make sure to address them because we want to make sure that we're addressing what you guys are interested in and what you guys have questions about. So make sure to drop that in the chat when you have questions. But Ariane, I'm going to unmute you. Okay, so the first thing I want to start with is just, will you just explain why algorithms are important? Because some people are like, what's an algorithm? Or explain what it is. Explain what it is and then how it affects our business and why it's important to learn about it.
Yeah, so can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, so Mark Zuckerberg decided to take Facebook and he wants it to be about community. And so all of his fancy smart tech guys decided to create this algorithm where they basically control what posts our friends and family are seeing. And so they since they want it to be community, they focus on posts and content that are like quality interaction, building connections and relationships. And so for us, customers buy, there's joy based on us and our stories. So that's why understanding the algorithms and like all of Facebook matters. And actually it's Instagram too, because Facebook just bought out Instagram a little bit ago.
Yeah, for sure. And so like every time that we post something and it gets 0 comments and we get super frustrated, it's because the algorithm. So Ariane's about to teach us how to get comments on everything and get interaction. And so first of all, speaking of interacting, will you kind of touch on the importance of interacting? So you can just start and then I have a few questions to dive deeper into, but if you just want to explain the importance of interacting and why we need to be doing that.
Yeah, so it has to do with that community and building relationships. So Mark Zuckerberg actually announced last fall that they are going to favor any conversations. And so this is why having conversations and responding and having like thoughtful comments, not just leaving an emoji, not saying repetitive things really matters, because when Facebook sees engagement, so sees like everyone having a conversation. So let's say, we had a travel giveaway and we asked, where do you want to go? And then it started a conversation and everyone kept commenting and responding to comments. So Facebook, every single time they see, oh, everyone's really engaged in this, this is providing value to people's lives, we're going to continue showing this. And so that's why interacting is so important. Basically, every time someone is commenting, Facebook recycles that post up through your friends' news feeds.
Okay, and so when we talk about, we need to make sure that we're commenting, having a conversation. I've heard before that there's like, if you do just like 1 word or 2 words, it doesn't count. Like it doesn't count as an interaction that's going to boost it. And so what is kind of that limit that we need to be looking for when we're commenting? What should we be commenting? How much? How many characters? And what helps boost that when we're doing that?
So the magic number is 21 characters. And that does include, your punctuation and your emojis. But that's kind of the magic number that Facebook is going to recognize that there's genuine quality content there. And that's why that's important than just 1 word. Because 1 word doesn't create emotion. That's another thing that Facebook totally changed, was they want their users to feel something when they're looking at a post. So 1 word answers or 1 word comments, that doesn't really create any emotion for us. And But when we're leaving like thoughtful comments and more than one sentence, like 2 to 3 sentences, then they're going to see that that's giving value again to the users.
Yeah, for sure. So doing like sentences and not just like so cute or, so pretty, And so actually like digging into their post, reading it fully, and then heartfelt comments are going to help that, right? Do they like
Yeah,
look at the content? Like obviously they look at the characters, but do they look at the content of what you're saying?
yes. So they recognize like repeat words. And so they're tracking and analyzing what you're doing all the time. And so if you're saying so cute, so cute, so cute, Facebook is almost going to recognize that as like a bot or a scam. And so they'll stop showing your content to the people that you're commenting on. And that's why, like, I tell my team and anyone on the Power Hours, I say genuine comments and compliments, not generic.
Yeah, I love that. And I didn't even think about that because I think that like obviously the person I'm commenting so cute, the next person that I comment, they're not going to know each other, so they're not going to know, but Facebook knows. And I'm probably really bad about that because especially on my post when someone comments that they're interested, I say messaged you, and they're probably seeing that I'm always saying I messaged you. And so sometimes I do try to switch it up and be like, hey girl, I sent you a message, or hey, check your inbox, things like that to switch it up. But I'm really bad about that too. So that's really good information to know. And then what kind of weight does like interacting with someone's post and the fact of like hearting it, wowing it, liking it, those kind of things?
So Facebook, it's again, like feeling. They want people to feel something and they want posts to like provide value. So it's, in the past, it was so easy to just scroll through, and how many times do we click like, because that's the first one. And that was before you could like press and hold and scroll over and love or wow something, or even show the angry emoji. So all the other emoticons, like the love and the wow and the sad, those are really emotions, versus like doesn't mean anything to Facebook. So Facebook doesn't care about someone's post. They really don't care about the number of likes that it has, actually. They care about the posts that have emotion.
Okay. Does it matter if I'm like going through and doing heart, heart, heart every time? Do we need to switch that up and be like, it doesn't matter as long as we're doing it?
Nope. As long as you're doing it, as long as you're showing emotion. And I do like change it up. So obviously if I see someone that's telling their story, I'm going to love it. Or if they just got a really big bonus, I'm going to like, wow, the bonus. Or if it's like insane results, I'm probably going to leave like a wow on it.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so let's talk about hashtags. Tell us everything hashtags.
Okay, so hashtags are applicable to Facebook now, and all of these things are actually applicable to Instagram as well. So I'm saying Facebook because I work, my business mostly from Facebook. But hashtags basically drive up your posts in relevance. And so if someone, let's say, follows a Christian, like a women's Christian, like Bible study book, like a book group, then if you use the hashtag blessed, too blessed to be stressed, anything that's along that kind of topic, then Facebook is going to say, okay, Mary likes this women's Christian group, so she's probably going to like this post that has this relevant hashtag. So we might show this post to her. Now the hashtags get really tricky. The magic number of hashtags is 9 to 30. You don't want to use more than 30. And the other thing that you want to do is, like, if you're on Instagram and you're typing up a post, and let's say you start typing in a hashtag. So I'm typing in hashtag blessed. It's going to show how many people have posted and like use that hashtag. So it may be like 5 million people use hashtag blessed. Now, if your Instagram following, if you only have like 1,000 followers, and you're using that hashtag blessed, that means your post is going up against 5 million different people. And so the chance of it getting seen is slim to none. So what you want to do is you can use the hashtag blessed, but then you want to use 3 to 4 other
Can you still hear us? Can you still hear me? Okay, you cut out. We can't hear you. Are you muted? Oh, I accidentally muted you. Hold on. Okay, now talk.
Okay.
Okay, you cut out at like 3 to 4 or something.
Okay. So what you want to do is you want to use that one really popular hashtag, but you want to do a ratio. So you want to do one really popular hashtag to 3 to 4 kind of less popular hashtags. So I would do hashtag blessed, and then I would do hashtag blessed to be a stay-at-home mom, blessed with a baby girl, and then I might like look up other ones, and it'll show me those 3 to 4 less popular ones. Again, it's going to say like only 1,000 people use this hashtag. So if I have 1,000 followers and there's 1,000 people using that, my post, when people are like just randomly scrolling or scrolling on social media in general, they're going to see my post up there with those other 1,000 pictures, if that makes sense. And then the more hashtags you use, that's why that 9 to 30, you're going to cover like a broader demographic of people that may be interested in your post as well.
Yeah, so that probably helps like target the people you want to target too, right? Because it's showing it.
Yes.
If you're making a business post and I comment, I don't know, like when I was in college, like college student, like, I don't know, like different stuff about that, it's going to target my business post to the demographic that I want to see it.
Yes. So like my demographic is essentially like stay-at-home moms, right? And everyone knows my baby girl. And so if I'm on my stories, let's say I hashtag like mommy's girl, everyone who's using that hashtag and that's interested in that hashtag is going to look at that, and then they're going to go to my page to look at it as well. So yes, it totally targets like who you want your business targeted to.
Oh my gosh, I love that. And when you use hashtags, I could probably just go look at your page, but do you do the whole like enter down or like ... so it's not like clogging up your post and making it look spammy? Do you know what I mean?
So it kind of depends, and it's really up to you. What I found is that, and like what I researched, is it actually really doesn't matter as far as the algorithm goes. So like Instagram isn't going to not show your post if it looks like really spammy, all clogged up. I kind of change it up and I vary my posts as well. So like some of my posts will have a whole bunch of hashtags on the bottom, but if you kind of intersperse a few key hashtags in your story, when people are reading it, it's highlighted. And so those key words are going to trigger that emotion and going to trigger like a response from someone. And so, they're reading like I am sitting here drinking my skinny mocha. I don't have to go to work and my baby girl is laying on the floor. This is the hashtag stay-at-home mom life. And then like a mom is going to be really moved by that. And that's going to be almost like a subconscious reminder in the back of her head, something that's going to stick with her if it's within the story. So that's why I kind of switch it up and I'll pop some keywords in just because they're triggers for people. And then I'll throw some down at the bottom more for the algorithm purpose sake.
Yeah, for sure. I've made ones that are like, I don't know, hashtag office views today, blah, blah, blah. And I don't really do it for the sake of algorithm. I just did it because it looks cute. But apparently I should be doing that more often.
Yeah.
Okay, so when it comes to Instagram and hashtags, so if you have your account public, does that help you being more on the explore page? Like, are you going to show up more on the explore page with hashtags?
Yeah. If your page is private, people aren't going to be able to see your post necessarily. Now, like if you're using it in your stories, they'll see your stories. But like if it's a photo, I know like in the leadership comment pod, I can click like within, let's say the Instagram message comment pod, but I can't even go to their page to like any of their other photos. So you can choose to be public or private, but the chance of your stuff getting seen is slim to none, and people aren't going to get to go to your page if you're private.
Okay, you like cut out. I was making sure you weren't muted again. Okay, and so kind of we're already talking about Instagram. Will you kind of talk about, you said something earlier about, well, earlier when we were talking about Facebook and Instagram being connected and cross-posting. Will you explain
Yes.
that?
So that's one of the things that Facebook is now doing. Well, they're speculating, you know, the algorithm is always changing. But right now, the word is that Facebook favors Instagram posts. And so I personally, I do cross posting. So I always like post from my Instagram and have it shared onto my Facebook story. So yeah, they favor Instagram posts versus non-Instagram posts, since they're like the same entity now.
Okay, because I always thought that was bad to like share it to Facebook. I always thought if you're going to post the same thing, copy and paste it.
No, you want to share like through them, because they recognize that, you know, when you're looking, it'll say like via Instagram or like Instagram picture or photo, they're going to favor that post.
Oh my gosh, that's genius. And it's probably because they bought them out and they want you to be using both. So they're going to reward you if you are using both. So that makes sense.
Yep.
Okay, someone had a question about hashtags that I missed earlier. They said, is it better to put the hashtags in the actual post or in the comments? I'm guessing the post, but does it matter? Does comments help at all?
So it really doesn't matter. The comments are going to drive it for algorithm's sake. It's actually really not going to matter for the algorithm. Now, on what you're like trying to achieve, if you're like I talked about, triggering emotion and using like those keywords to stick with people, you can integrate it in your post. But then again, if you like, let's say you post something and then you go back through and comment on it and leave those hashtags, and they're, you know, some of them are like unique hashtags, that post is going to get recycled through people's feed. So it's going to show up again if you go back through and comment on it.
Okay. And then cross-posting. So when you share say you post on Instagram, you share that to your Facebook, so they're connected. Does that boost your Instagram post that you originally posted as well, or does it just help your Facebook algorithm? It helps both?
It boosts yeah.
Okay. Okay, and then another important thing that obviously we should be doing anyways, but this really stresses it because we always talk about quality posts and how they're so important. But now you're saying that helps the algorithm too. So what is Facebook looking for, and what is their, you know, what are they looking for in quality posts that they're going to show it to more people?
So Facebook, there's like, it's a complex thing. So Facebook is looking for human beings, right? And we already talked about they want to create community and engagement and interaction. So one of the things is the photos that you're using. Facebook is going to favor images over just another like text post, which I know a lot of us do that to change up through the day as we're posting. We use like the different backgrounds. But they do favor images over text posts. Now with our images, the other thing to that is the images need to be like high quality, clear, really great lighting. It's too easy. Like if let's say I were to take a selfie right now, the lighting's kind of funky because the sun's going down over the mountains. You can actually look up on Pinterest recipes and when I say recipes, there's percentages on how to edit photos using Pick-Tap-Go. So definitely want to be focusing on high quality photos. The other thing with photos is if your photo looks like an advertisement, like a print ad, Facebook is not going to favor that. So when we see a lot of the old It Works marketing, like the black and green, Facebook is not going to show that because It Works doesn't pay Facebook for marketing and advertising. And so they're like, no, you don't get to advertise your business. We're not going to show this. Obviously, we want to share the results photos and making sure we're using corporate approved photos, but you can always edit out that, crop out that bottom part that makes it look like an ad. And with those quality photos too, we want to avoid using graphics over the photos, like the results photos, because again, that's going to look like an ad or print marketing to Facebook. So they're probably not going to show it as much. So that covers the images for posting. Now, when it comes to the content, again, it needs to provide value. And so we just have to be thoughtful when we are posting and try and sound like a person when we're talking about, let's say we're using a results photo. If you can use like the person's name and kind of give a background in the story, I know we have a lot of various testimonials, that's going to be an emotional post that Facebook is going to favor. If they notice, again, like we all share each other's posts and we're copying and pasting and reusing posts, when they recognize that something's been used a lot, they're not going to show it as much. So changing up like our Thermophyte X posts and results photos, even just changing up the emojis when we're sharing those, we want to make sure they're unique, like our wording, and we're a human and we don't sound spammy.
And it helps to like, well, this was kind of a past tip that I've heard, but I'm sure it still applies if you're talking about, you know, having feeling in your post, is like we're kind of taught to always say, like, when you're talking about the business, talk about like, I feel so blessed. Like I feel like, talk about how you feel and like give that emotion in the post, because obviously that's going to give the post emotion, but specifically pointing that out when you're writing all of your posts too.
Yeah.
Okay, so story-wise, so on stories, I'm guessing it doesn't matter if it looks more graphic, because like all of our stories mostly look like graphics, right?
Yeah, there's nothing about that because that's just a quick like scroll through, and that's something new. You know, they talked about conference, like stories are the new thing. So it's definitely evolving right now to where we don't exactly know what they're going to be doing with the stories. But stories are like the new algorithm thing. And so when we're going through and commenting and engaging, one of the best things you can do is start commenting through people's stories. And it still is fairly new, but when you're commenting on people's stories, whether Instagram or Facebook, they get a message, like a personal message. And even if you're like leaving something generic, oh my goodness, you're such a beauty, like that's going to make someone feel really good. They're going to get that personal message. It's not going to get lost in notifications. I know my notifications blow up all the time, so I miss comments often. Whereas if you're commenting through their stories, you're not going to miss that message that you got from someone. So they're not going to miss that message. And that, again, is going to boost your algorithm. When you're essentially messaging them, then they're going to start showing them your posts.
Yeah, and that's a form of interacting because you're commenting on their story basically, and that's going to help also. Okay, someone said, is it a good idea to paste something over an image? So like when we put like our weekly bonus email or like loyal customer email. Does that make sense?
So they said, like the Facebook gurus said, to use it sparingly. So as long as 80% of your posting, because that still is like, that's a social post essentially. So you want 80% of your posting and your pictures to be more like a social post. But you can use, then it said like 20% can be like motivational, inspirational, if that makes sense. So like that weekly bonus, like the over whatever thing, yeah, you can use that, but sparingly. So not like flood your feed with it.
Yeah, that makes sense. Do you just want to go ahead and talk the rest about stories? Did you have anything else to talk about with stories?
No, not really, because again, it's something that's like, it's very new, and we don't exactly know what they're doing with it, because Facebook then really started introducing it once they bought out Instagram and realized how popular it was. With stories, you do want to try and go live. I know that's like outside of our comfort zone. I don't like hardly ever go live. I've gone live a few times, and definitely not on my stories. But when you go live on your stories, like if you're on Instagram, if you go live and you're like scrolling at the top, your story is going to appear first before everyone else. So who's ever going live is going to appear first. So that's a way to boost getting seen, is going live through your stories.
Yeah, even with like, I know a ton of us, like I will literally do videos of me making my keto coffee in the morning. Like, why don't I just go live and everybody will see it first, you know?
Yeah. And and someone just said one of the, I want to say like leader training videos, they started going live for like 2 months, on their stories. So not necessarily like on their page, but they went live making their keto coffee every morning. And after a few weeks, they were exploding with potential customers over the keto coffee because people were seeing it all the time.
So someone just asked how often should you go live? So like as often as possible.
You can go live as much as you want. National Geographic over the last like 2 months, they went live 70 times in 1 month. I think it might even be more than that. I know the keyword was 70 times at least in 1 month. And now their traffic is absolutely exploding because of how often they go live. And they go live doing like everything you could possibly imagine National Geographic would do. So you could go live every single day, multiple times a day, and yeah, go live as much as you possibly want.
And that's on Instagram, but you can also do it on Facebook too. That'll help Facebook.
Yep, on both. Yep.
What do you think, which do you think is more beneficial, going live like on your Facebook page or going live on your story? Or is it about equal?
It's about equal.
Okay. Okay, so images versus text, we talked about that. So we talked about quality. So will you talk about quantity of posting?
Yes. Okay. So right now, for like business purposes, Facebook is going to favor when you're posting frequently. So if you're posting 4 to 6 times, they're going to favor you because you're active and you're spending a lot of time on their platform. Same with Instagram. The magic number for Instagram is actually just 3 to 6 times a week, not necessarily per day. So Instagram is 3 to 6 times per week, and Facebook is 4 to 6 times per day. However, if you're following on Facebook, like, so if your friends and family are kind of getting bored with your posts, i.e., you're not getting a lot of traffic, you're noticing like you're just not getting any attention on your posts, what Facebook says to do, and all the analytics people say to do, is take a break from your posts and work on an engagement post. So like on Saturdays, or Sundays, I actually don't really post a lot about the business. I may do like one post, and I make sure I do something that's going to spark engagement. And so an engagement post is going to be something that asks a question, fill in a blank. Like last night I posted, when did you guys start feeding your kids spaghetti? And so that had like a lot of interaction, and now all these people coming out of the woodwork that have like never commented are now commenting on my post. And even if they're not necessarily commenting on my business stuff, they are still seeing all my other posts because then they commented on that engagement post, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and even I've seen people just do a simple status that just says they're having a debate with their spouse about like something, you know, like just those little things, like post that. Like people want to share their opinion, like they're gonna want to comment.
Yeah, it's one of those things that adds value. So if you can get people like commenting and interacting, because I did that one actually last week. I said, my spouse and I are having a debate. Does the toilet paper roll go over and under? There was like 70 comments. And then like people, so the other really cool thing was like people were arguing within the responses. And because of that, Facebook actually favors it. And it's been recycled. Like I posted that last Wednesday, and I just had a notification today that someone liked the post or like laughed at the post. So yeah, it definitely boosts your algorithm and it provides value to people. Like it sparks emotion.
Yeah, and the other thing I want to say is everyone used to make fun of me because I post like every 2 hours. Like if it's been 2 hours, I'm like, oh, it's time to post again. And everyone's like, are you serious? And I'm like, Facebook likes me now. Oh my goodness. Okay. Let's see. Someone asked earlier about timing, and we were going to touch on that anyway. So please talk about timing a post. Is there a different time that's best, or a specific time in between posts? Like obviously if you're posting back to back, like that's probably not great. I don't know.
Yeah. So it's one of those things you kind of want to pay attention to your to basically like your friends and family. So one of the things we can do is we can track and see, like on the bottom for Facebook, you can see who's all active, at least through Messenger if they have the Messenger app. You know, the little green light, it's going to show like I have 216 friends are active at noon. It's lunchtime, so people are just scrolling Facebook. That's the perfect time to post because all those people are active. So we want to try and post like 15-ish minutes before people are most active on Facebook. If you post when people aren't active, your post honestly isn't going to get seen. So like if I were to post at 4:30 a.m. When I get up, people aren't going to see like my actual post. So that's why like personally, I'm going to wait till 6 a.m. when mommies are getting up and getting their kids ready. They're going to probably see my post since that's one of the active times. The other thing is Facebook has found most people are active from Wednesday through Friday from 12 p.m. until 4 p.m. So I don't know why this is. This might be because people like take long weekends. It gets into payday. But yeah, apparently that's when most people are most active is from 12 to 4 p.m.
Yeah, so we can use our Messenger app to see when, because it's going to be, yeah, you're right. It's going to be different for everybody. You know, I might have all my friends are on at 10 a.m. and other people might have all their friends are on at 10 p.m., you know? And then I'm pretty sure there's also an app that's like the best time to post. I don't know what the app's name is. I used to have it and it would like tell you the best time for you. So it would download like your Instagram info. Is that a thing still?
There's a few different apps. But one thing is they sometimes like now they're making you use like business accounts for those and pay for advertising. So it's really hard to track analytics using those apps now. But really it takes a little bit of data collection, but you can try and pay attention yourself too, like, and play some experimenting. Like I noticed just within the last few weeks, like I was posting every 2 hours, but I noticed like my mid-morning posts would get like 0 traffic. So I pretty much stopped posting from that like after 9 a.m. until lunchtime. And then also from like lunchtime till 2 o'clock, I don't post because people aren't active at all. And then also like I noticed too, I was posting too late as well. Like I was posting at 9 p.m. and those posts were getting no traffic, versus if I posted at 7 p.m., those are getting a lot more traffic. So you kind of have to do a little bit of legwork yourself to find what's ideal for your like group of friends and family.
Yeah, and like there's times where I'll post about the giveaway and I'll get 0 comments, and I know the algorithm kicked it out or nobody was on at that time, so I'll just delete it and post it like later in the evening, and then it will get like 50 comments, you know. So it is about timing. It's not always about what you're posting, but also that timing plays into that too. So that's good to know as well. Does it help to tag people in your posts? Like people, like if friends are in your photos, even if not, like tagging other people. Does it? Here's a question. You can answer that, and then I have another question.
Yeah, so you definitely, if you can tag people in photos, that's going to drive up your algorithm, because like if I tag my husband or my mom, like all my mom's friends and my husband's friends are all going to see that they got tagged in the post. And we may not have like mutual friends, but like his friends are going to see, and then they're going to ask him, you know, oh, what did she post about? Like she just made more money than you. And then even within comments, like tagging people too drives up the algorithm, because Facebook is going to say, oh, this person thinks this person is going to like this content, so we're going to show this content a little bit more so mutual friends see it, if that makes sense.
Okay, and so my second question is, you said, well, we'll get to this later, but you said like unfollowing it works people. So does that matter if we're tagging like 10 people that are also in the business? It's a business post. We want to boost our algorithm. We tag 10 people that are also in the business. Does that help you or more hurt you because they know that they're in it works too?
It actually probably will help everyone that's tagged. So like Pam Souter, you know, tags like everyone, and like so her people are going to see her posts, and then Kayla's people are going to see that post, so it's going to drive them up. So that doesn't necessarily matter per se.
Okay. This question, for host to post, when you add new people who you haven't had interaction with yet, should you message them to host a post or wait to interact first?
No, I totally interact. Because if you think about it, I mean, just right now, everyone is in multi-level marketing, right? And there's a lot of negativity with multi-level marketing. So this doesn't necessarily have to do with the algorithm, but like there's so much negative connotation with multi-level marketing. So if you add someone and immediately message them, they're probably going to be pretty turned off, and they're going to be like, hey, this person just added me because they're trying to use me. Probably not. So I personally, I keep a list, like I keep a running list of all new people. I have my friends list printed out. I print it out every month. And then I keep the new added friends, I keep another list of that, and I make sure I probably honestly interact with them for like 2 to 3 weeks before I even come close to asking them, because I'm building a relationship with them. You know, that's what it comes down to. If you don't have a relationship, like, are they going to try and help you for your promotion? Probably not, because you don't care about them and their family. So why are they going to care about you and yours?
Yeah, I always try to make the rule of like, if I've never messaged them before, I need to send some type of message before sending a message asking them to help me. So like, even if that's going to their stories and like responding to one of their stories so they get that compliment or whatever. So then when I message them about host posts, they're seeing that one above that, like, oh, she replied to my story, like she said that she loved, or she thought my kid was so cute or whatever, and then they're more likely to help you anyways. But
yes.
Okay, so going back to like unfollowing it works people, like unfriending them, or what is that?
So here's the thing. Facebook recognizes what you value and what your friends value, and they are following and tracking your interests. So if you're only interested in it works people, Facebook is going to be like, okay, she only needs to see Facebook or it works people's posts. And then they're also going to show you like suggested friends. They're going to start showing you all it works people. So my recommendation is like, if there's someone that like you really need to stay connected with on Facebook, you know, you're following like key leaders. I tell all of my people to like unfollow it works people. So you're still friends with them and you're still connected. Way your feed isn't full of it works people. And then their feed isn't full of your stuff either. You know, we're trying to expand our networks here with our friends. You don't want your network full of it works people. And then like, if you're following a key leader, you can always hit the follow button on their profile. You don't have to send them a friend request, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and also not always interacting with it works people. Like if you're only commenting on your team's like, you know, posts, business posts, results pictures posts, things like that, you're going to keep seeing them. And like I do that because I always comment on like my newbies posts to like encourage them, which is fine. But after a while, I'm like, okay, I can't comment anymore. Or like all I see is like results picture, and I don't see anybody new. So okay, so you said something about, I'm like going through everything that you told me before because I'm like, what is all of this? I'm like clueless over here. So putting info on your profile page, like adding, are you talking about like adding your hometown, like your favorites, like birthday, all of that kind of stuff?
Yeah. So, and I haven't even fully done this, but now Facebook has like, you can basically build like a resume kind of, and so they favor profiles that are complete. So like when they ask you, what's your hometown? Now, obviously, yeah, you don't want to leave like your telephone number. You may not want to leave like your personal information, like where you're living. But if you can complete like all those random questions, like the fun facts about me, the highlight photos, Facebook is going to favor those as well. But I just want to say real quick, don't put boss babe in your little like profile thing. And even on just like putting diamond leader and whatnot, that's going to drive people away and detract people. Yeah, it's like, it's not appealing if anyone's trying to like look through your profile, because then they're automatically going to say, oh, she's in multi-level marketing, she's not a real person. So they're not going to accept your friend request if you have that. But I know that's not algorithm based, but I just had to throw that in there.
Yeah. I mean, it's not algorithm, but it is about like who's going to be attracted to your page, you know? And so like that's important too. And I always think about what would I want to see and what do I not want to. Like when I go to add somebody that commented on something of mine and I see that or I go to add a new friend and I see that they say hashtag boss babe, hashtag makeup something, like I already know that they're selling makeup. Like they already know. Like you want them to have some question about like, who's this girl? Why is she adding me? Like whatnot.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm like going to my page now, seeing what I have in my profile. Okay. And so, so going off of that, so if I put like where I live, like just the town or whatever, are they going to show it to more people who are in that same town? Like, do they care about that, or does that not really?
Yeah. So, using locations, it plays like a fine line, like for security purposes, and like safety. But if you're using location, they're going to show people in that location. So they're going to start targeting. They're like, oh, this person is in Colorado Springs, so other people in Colorado Springs might want to see this and might be interested in her coffee, let's say. So when you can and when you feel comfortable, definitely utilize location.
Yeah, and I'm like super weird about, I like blur out my apartments. Like I don't want anybody to know like what my location even looks like. So obviously be cautious, but like if I said like Topeka, Kansas, like people aren't going to be like, oh, I can track you now, you know, like it's kind of just like vague, but also giving that info. So, and that's like just on your profile, it helps doing that, or like when you tag it in your post, like when you're saying your location in your post.
In both. So it helps with both. Yeah.
Okay. And then you also said something about cleaning up your friends list.
Yes. So it's something to do that like recycles and refreshes your social media page. So if you start going through your friends list, I highly recommend downloading it, printing it off, and like going one by one and highlighting. And what I do is, what you want to do is like unfriend people who have like duplicate accounts. You know, oftentimes people's accounts get hacked and they make a new one, but they never delete the old one, or the old one isn't deleted. So essentially you want to like unfriend all those unrelevant people. Or like we talked about this a little bit last week. I unfriend people that maybe are like sharing a whole bunch of memes. They have nothing to talk about, nothing to share, no quality or value to add to my life. So I probably can't really add any to their life. Like I can't get to know them. And Facebook isn't going to make us link up at all. So I'm probably going to remove them, because I can't even start a conversation if all they're doing is sharing memes, or if all they're doing is talking about politics, or anything like really negative. And it's going to refresh your Facebook like profile essentially. So definitely take some time to like clean up your friends list.
Yeah, and speaking of that, I just thought of this, a random question, but there was like a thing one time, someone said like creating lists on Facebook and posting to those specific lists. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
So basically, I don't even know if it's a thing anymore. Basically what it was is like you could create it was basically kind of like a group. So you could post it to a specific group of people. Like I would, if I only wanted my distributors to see this post I'm posting, I could add them all and then post it to that list or whatever. And then it would only post to them.
So the only thing I know is that pertains to like business pages essentially, but I know that you can create like other like separate smaller page lists, or you can, on your post there is a way where you can edit that like those people to see it. I haven't done it because that's a whole lot of work, and I just use my Facebook chat group. But there is a way, I know, and Google is amazing. This is how I found out all of this stuff, Google and YouTube, because I'm no like expert. I don't have like a college degree or anything. So this is all like Google and YouTube. But there is a way to do it if you just wanted your posts to be seen by like Courtney, Kayla, Megan, and Mary. There is a way to do that. You just have to Google or YouTube it.
Okay. And then you said being active in Facebook groups. So like I don't specifically add people from groups anymore. I add like likers that like someone's posts. And so I'm not in a lot of like extra groups because I really don't pay attention to them. So I'm mostly active in like our It Works groups. So does that hold as much weight to the algorithm as being active in a group like that versus like being active in a boutique group or a mom group or things like that?
So it's what it's going to do is more like if you're active in like a boutique group, those people that see you, it's more, they're probably going to get curious. Like if you're making a post and then you're like commenting on someone's comments and you're responding and you're talking and you're having conversations, it's more going to spark curiosity from people. So they might, that's where you're going to draw like attention. And essentially like this is attraction marketing and we want to attract people. So that's why it's good to interact in those groups. And especially like for new people, like you, obviously you've been doing this for a while. So you have like a huge friends list and a huge following. But for someone who's new, who's trying to build up their friends list and it's taking a while, it's one way to start getting like engagement and attract people to their page.
No, I love that. I need to start doing that. And I need to start putting that in our power hours. Like that's a new task we're about to do. So I'm excited and I'm about to join some new groups. Okay. And the last thing before I have to hop off here and leave the power hour. Okay. You said, I totally did not know what you meant by this, but you said sharing host posts through Messenger. Will you explain like how to do that and what that even is?
Oh, okay.
I'm like intrigued.
It was to do with a giveaway. So like let's say you see someone has a trip giveaway, and I'm using this as an example, and it says share for an extra entry, tag a friend for an extra entry. Technically, like Facebook, because we're not a business page, they're not going to ding us for that and like shut our page down, but they're probably not going to show that giveaway entry because you're making it a requirement to tag or share that post. But if like someone did a post for you and it's like a giveaway and you're like, hey, will you share this but send it through Messenger? So if they share the link through Messenger, like go to your page and hit share and send it through Messenger, Facebook is going to say, oh, people must really like this. Like this has value. So now we're going to recycle it and show it again. So it's going to boost that giveaway post, for example. Does that make sense now?
Yeah. So you're having the person that posted it share it through Messenger. Who are you having it share it to? Just to you or to like their friends?
To like a friend, yeah. So
okay.
So instead of like tagging a friend, I'll say, hey, for an extra entry, share my post through Messenger to your friend that you think would want to enter.
Oh my gosh, that's so cool. I feel like half my people would be like, how do I do that? Because I literally, you said that and I'm like, how do you do that? I'm going to have to make up like a graphic.
Well, it's just like how we share in the comment pods. Like when you share through there, it's just the normal share button and you just send it through Messenger.
Okay, perfect. I also had another question about putting, so if we put in our post, you know, to get an entry, drop an emoji, tag a friend, share, they're probably not going to let a lot of people see that. But I have a post that I put, you know, to get an entry, drop an emoji, but then feel free to share it. Is that the same thing? Are they saying that I'm making them do that? Or is it more of like, it's not a requirement, it's an option? Do you know what I mean?
Who knows with the Facebook gods, honestly, like.
Okay. I'm just curious. Okay, well, that's all the questions I have. Do you have any other goal that you want to share with us?
No, that's it. Like, if you don't understand something or if you're confused, I'm telling you, like, the Army taught me to be so resourceful. And like, I learned all this because I was noticing like I wasn't getting interaction, and I just I Googled and researched, and I still, because it's always changing. And this honestly like just changed this last fall. So yeah, Google and YouTube. If you don't understand social media, there's someone that is a professional that's like younger and more hip than me that probably understands it and has like a WikiHow page or something on how to do it.
I was just going to say, why do we need Google when we have you? We'll just hit you up anytime we have questions. We'll do a modified Zoom every couple months. Okay, well, I'm going to hop off here so everyone can hop on the Power Hour. It's on this same Zoom, so go ahead and hop on there. But thank you so much for hopping on with us.